Hello everybody, welcome. I'm Zoe. Welcome. So basically, in this reading, I'm going to tell you all that's going to be very interesting. I'm so sorry that my voice is going to be very quiet today. I'm so sorry about it. But this is how it is. Keep in mind about the way how this is. You have to spring on into action about your own voice and everything else. I'm so sorry that my voice is a little bit quiet today. I'm sorry about that. But that's how it goes. But this is how it seems to be. So if you're wondering about how things are in a different background like this, normally I don't do it because I'm on a little bit of a vacation, but this is how it goes, right? So when this video premieres, that's probably already going to be doing it. That's the way how it goes, and that's how it seems to be. So this is the way it goes. But this is going to be just a general reading. I hope that this can be very interesting indeed. I hope you all like it and enjoy it. But this is the way it goes. I hope that you all understand the basic needs and the basic monologue of how it goes, but you know what I mean. Like, you know how everything is in that way, how it's going to be in that way, and you have to know what it is, but you have to go with the flow. And when you go with the flow, you understand that, right? That's how it goes. So, the reading how this is going to be the way how it goes, and this is the way it seems to be. So, here we go. So we have the King of Cups separate. It does make support. It does represent Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. But the way how this is, you have to understand about having your own support, your own mannerisms, your own beliefs, whatever it is. You have to understand what it takes. And when you do that, you have to know how you're going to get involved of what you're doing in that way, because this is going to be like how past tense of how it goes. So when you have support, you have the dignity, have your own right and wrong perspective. That's all you can do. But the way how this is, you have to know how it is. This is like the belief of how it goes in that way, and you think, okay, everything seems to be fine, alright, I'm going to be wanted, I'm going to be needed. That's how it goes. And when things to be in that specifically of how it goes, you have to understand that, right? This is going to be like almost like a rebound to this situation, but you have to know what it is. You have to be calm, cool, collected of how it goes in that way, and you have to understand that. That's how it goes. And when things to be in that perspective, you know what it takes, you know how it is, and when you have your own gravity, you know how it is in that way. You're trying to give your own self that response about knowing what to do in that way, right? That's how it goes. And you have to understand that everything has to be all great, but that's how it goes in that way. You have to know what it is. This is not a compass. This is not the way how it goes, but you have to understand about, the way how it is when you have support. That's the way it goes. So that's how it seems to be. So let's see what's going on here. So let me clarify between this card here. So I'm going to clarify from the middle to the middle to the right. If it wants to separate for Christmas, the sun card separate, there's positivity. Just separate, you're telling the truth. But for separate, you're going to have good luck. That's how it goes in that way, because you have to understand what it takes. You have to know about how you can proceed with caution. If you're saying about positivity, if you know what it is, if you're telling the truth, you know how it goes, right? That's how it goes. And when you do that, that's the way it seems to be, because you have to understand that. That's the way it is. So you have to understand how it goes in that way, because you have to understand about the concept. You have to know about how you can do it in that way, and say, alright, I know what to do, I got this, but then it's how it goes, right? You have to perceive what you're going to be doing in that way. Everything has to be all, sure and stout, whatever it is, but you have to understand that. It's like, believe that everything seems to be good, but you understand what it is, right? That's how it goes. What's between the middle and the right side? The two pentacles here, there's basically no balancing, like you're unbalanced. The Knight of Swords, sorry, there's drama here, but the 5-1, sorry, there's chaos. Yeah, because things are not going as planned. Things are not as the way how this is. Like, this is biological estimation. Things are going to be as playing out as it goes, and you think, alright, everything's going to be fine, but then how you're going to be in that way. You're trying to figure out how you can have your own decencies about knowing what to do. So you might be dealing with a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. You might be dealing with a Referral, basically a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Like, there are things you must learn first in that way, because that's how it goes. What's in the middle of this situation, please? The 6-1 separate, yeah, because there's, well, it's reversed, and when the 6 of Wands reversed, it means that you have no celebration whatsoever. It's like, why are you doing it? Why are you trying to compensate with how it goes? It's like, you have to understand about how you're going to be doing that in that way. You're trying to, level things up. You're trying to have your own rebound. You have your own what it takes. And when you do that, that's how it goes, right? So you have to believe that in order to do that, you're trying to emphasize what you want, what you get, what you need, is you're trying to proceed, you're trying to behave for what everything is. That's how it goes. And when things to be in that perspective, you have to understand that, right? You have to compensate of knowing what to do. What's between the Six of Wands about? The Sun card is right, there's positivity, justice reverse, you're not telling the truth. The Strength card reverse, you're being brave, being scared, you see you have no bravery, and the Wheel of Fortune reverse, you're having bad luck. That's how it goes. And when you do that, that's the way it seems to be, is you're trying to do what it is, that's how it is. What's between the middle and right side, please? The Chariot is upright, you want progress. The Fool is upright, there's change. The World is upright, there's completion. Yeah, because that's how it goes. And when you do that, you have to believe that everything's going to be fine, because you're trying to have that this is how it goes. This is not the way how it is, but you're trying to have your own the way how this is. And when you do that, you have to understand what's going on in that way. It's like everything seems to be fine, but then it's like, why are you doing it? Why are you going to process about it? That's how it seems to be. Let me clarify the Wheel of Fortune reverse. High Praise reverse, there's no inner voice. The Temperance is upright, there's healing. The Hermit is upright, there's solitude. Yeah, because you're looking for a soulmate, maybe you're going to do that. That's how it goes in that way. It's like everything has to be all great, but then why you're doing it, why you're trying to process about it, that's how it goes. What's in the middle of this situation? The middle reverse, there's misorientations, yeah, because that's how it goes. What's on the right side? The Full reverse, yeah, because there's no change in that discovery, because that's how it goes in that way. You're trying to know how it is, you're trying to figure out, everything seems to be fine, but then it's like how it is in that way, right? That's how it goes. So you have to understand that, what you want, what you get, what you need, because you're trying to evaluate of how it goes, and that's how it seems to be in that way, because you have to understand about having your own good response about knowing what to do, and that's how it goes. What's between this Moon card here? The Chariot reverse, there's no progress. The High Priest is upright, there's inner voice. The Hangman reverse, there's no restrictions, and the Star is upright, there's inspiration. Yeah, because you're wanting to wish upon something, you want to know that, because you're trying to figure out that, I want to do this, I want to try to interact with this, I want to persist what you're doing, because that's how it goes. You're trying to proceed, you're trying to know what's right, what's wrong, but you're trying to figure out that this is how, elegant about it. You're trying to figure out, this seems to be very interesting, I don't know what to do, alright, but that's how it goes. You're trying to concave the situation of knowing what to do, that's how it goes. Let's between this Fool card here. The World is upright, there's completion. If we're sorry, there's good luck. Yeah, because that's how it goes. When you have that experience, you know what it is. You're trying to fight it. You're trying to get what you want. You're trying to perceive what you're doing, because that's how it goes. You need to understand that. And when you face your own abilities, from a right and wrong perspective, that's all you can do. You have to try to take a risk. You're trying to know what it takes. You're trying to believe about what's going on, and that's how it goes. You have to understand that, because that's what it seems to be. So let me go from the middle to left, middle to right. The World reverse, there's incompletion. The Three Pentacles reverse, there's no excitement. The Knight of Pentacles reverse, there's no trust. The King of Swords, there's knowledge here. That's how it goes, because you have to understand that. That's the way it seems to be. What's between the middle and the right side? The Devil is upright, there's obsessions. The Ten of Swords reverse, there's no conclusions. The Knight of Swords reverse, there's no drama. The Eight of Pentacles reverse, there's no perfection. The Fool is upright, there's change. Yeah, because that's how it goes. So you might be doing it in a Capricorn in that way. You're trying to be who you are. You're trying to act like everything seems to be fine. But then it's like, why are you doing it? Why that things are not going as the way it goes, right? Everything's all wavy and whatever it is. It's like, why are you doing it? Because that's the way it seems to be. So you have to know the basic rules about knowing what to do in that way. You're trying to go with the flow. What's between the middle? So the Emperor reverse, there's no structure. What's on the left side? The Magician reverse, there's no skill. What's on the right side? The Knight of Wands is upright, there's basically immaturity. Alright, so someone's being immaturity, That's how it goes. And when you're being immature, it's like, oh well, this is not going to end well, because that's how it goes. So you're trying to understand that, right? So you might be dealing with a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius in that way, because you're trying to have give in or give out in that way, and you're trying to be perspective. That's all you can do. So what's happening with this Magician card? The 3 wands reverse, there's no communication. The World reverse, there's incompletion. The Moon is upright, there's misrotations. Yeah, because the Moon is the energy, and when you're affected by the Moon, that's how it goes. It's like things are not going as planned. Things are not going as the way how it goes. It's like, wow, this is not being nitty gritty, because that's how it goes. It's like, why are you doing it? Why that things are not going as planned? Because that's how it is. It's like, this is like how you're gonna have your own past tense, because you have to understand that, right? You are trying to believe that everything seems to be fine, but it's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. But that's how it goes in that way. What's happening with this Emperor card? The 4 wands is over. There's celebration. King of Reverse, there's no support. Full reverse, there's no change. But the King of Swords, sorry, there's knowledge here. Yeah, because you're being you're having your own knowledge, because you have to accept what you want. Because this is like almost a daily routine, you know, that's how it goes. And when you do that, that's how you can remote of how it goes, and you're trying to play as everything seems to be fine, because you might be role playing, maybe it could be that, but you know what it is, right? That's how it goes, and when you do that, that's the way it seems to be. What's happening with this Knight of Wands here? 3 cups here, there's no completion, there's no celebration. 5 cups, sorry, there's grief. What's up with this 3 cups here? Knight of Cups, sorry, yeah, because with romance, yeah, that's how it goes, because you're trying to be like, oh well, you know, I'm trying to be in love, or I'm trying to be what it takes, because that's how it goes. You're trying to influence your own self, because you have to know what it is. You have to be bold, be beautiful, whatever it is, and that's how it seems to be. So you know what it takes, but then it's like, how will you do it in that way? You're trying to know how it is in that way. It's like, alright, this seems to be happening. Alright, I know what to do, but this is the way it goes. It's like, alright, seems to be fine. Alright, I know what to do, but then this is the way it goes. So you have to know about the basic rules, the basic, you know, the way how it is, and it's like, alright, this seems to be fine. Alright, I know what to do, but then it's like, alright, well, this is how it works. This is the way it seems to be. This is the way it ends up being. But that's how it goes. So you might be dealing with another Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. You might be dealing with another Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You might deal with another very Capricorn, Taurus. You might deal with Pisces, Scorpio. You might be dealing with another like 12 zodiac signs in this picture. Like, you know, that's just how it is, and this is the way it seems to be. So you're not trying to, you know, be in agree with this situation, but the way how it goes. So what's happening with this Moon card here? 2 swords, so you don't know which direction you're going to take, left or right. So let me clarify the left side. The 3 cups, so there's basically celebration. The 9 pentacles, so there's basically trust. These are trusting the way how this is. So you know how it is, and when you trust that, that's how it goes in that way, because you have to think, alright, well, this will be fine. Alright, this is not a pity party. But the way how this is, you have to know what it is, because the way it seems to be. What's between this 4 wands and this King of Swords here? The 7 swords are there. You're feeling resilience, or discreet, deceit, and the King of Pentacles are right. There's security. The Emperor reverse, there's no structure. The Taurus are right. There's transformation. Yeah, because everything's changing. You know. That's how it goes, and when you do that, that's the way it seems to be, because you're trying to influence it of the way how it goes. It's like you have to accept what you want daily, because that's how it goes. It's like you're trying to have a daily routine, you know? You're trying to be who you are, because you're trying to emphasize of knowing what to do. That's the way it goes. You're trying to be graceful of knowing what to do. What's happening with this 9 cups and this 5 cups here? The High Priest reverse, you're not using your inner voice. The 9 pentacles are right, you're feeling comfortable. The 5 of pentacles reverse, you're not looking for any money. 4 cups reverse, there's no distraction. 8 wands reverse, there's no speed. The Empress reverse, there's no nourishment. The Strength card reverse, you're not being bravery. The Queen of Cups right, there's empathy. Yeah, because there's 2 sides of the story here. One makes sense, one doesn't make sense. So you know what I mean. You're trying to be graceful of knowing what to do, and that's how it goes. It's like beyond your own point of knowing what to do, and you're trying to emphasize how it goes. So let me clarify. So let me do the middle to the right, middle to left. 10 Cups Reverse is incompletion. Page Source card, there's education. King Cups right, there's support. Lovers right, there's decisions. The 2 of Swords Reverse, you're not the crossroads. The 2 of Cups Reverse, there's no relationships or friendships. 10 of Swords right, there's conclusions. Yeah, because that's how it goes. Things are not going as planned. Things are not going as the way how it is. Everything is not the way how it is. It's like, why? You know, this is it seems to be. So you need to emphasize what you're doing in that, right? That's how it goes. And, you know, life goes on in that way because you know what it is. You're trying to do what it takes because that's how it seems to be. You know how it is. And when you feel comfortable, that's the way it seems to be in that way. What's between the middle and the left side? The King, the Knight of Pentacles here, there's no trust. The High Priestess here, there's no advice. The Ace of Swords, there's understanding. Yes, exactly. So what's between the Knight of Pentacles and the High Priestess? Page of Cups, there's loyalty. Yeah, because you guys want loyalty. You want things to be very interesting about how it goes in that way. What's in the middle between the education and the Knight of Pentacles? Page of Pentacles. Yeah, there's prospects. So you have to understand that you're trying to embrace what you're doing in that way because you have to understand that you're trying to define it. You're trying to know what it is, and that's how it goes. So, you know, you're trying to have your own sense control about what it is, and you have to know what it takes. So I understand that you have to believe that you can do it and understand, and you have to go with the flow, you know. And there are basic needs, basic wants, basic attributes about knowing what to do. And when you do that, it's like, okay, I know what to do. All right, I understand that. But then you have to understand it, right? So you have to have your own beyond of your own good point about knowing what to do. And when you do that, you have to face the consequences. Maybe you have to do that, I don't know. But you know what I mean, right? So you have to know what it takes in that way because you're trying to be casual of knowing what to do, and that's how it goes. So you're trying to embrace of what you're doing in that way, and this is like a life experience, right? So you have to believe that everything seems to be fine, but then it's the way it goes. So the universe is saying prospects. That's the word, right? Because that's how it seems to be. So everything has to be all perfect, but you know what I mean, right? That's how it seems to be. So you have to understand what it takes, and you have to get involved. You have to know what it is. You have to do exactly what you're told to do. You have to be responsible. And when you do that, that's the way it goes. You're trying to go with the flow. And when you do that, it's like, alright, everything's going to be fine. Alright, I know what to do. But then you understand what it takes, right? So you have to understand that, right? So you have to understand about having your own evolvement of knowing what to do. And you have to get involved. You know, that's the way it seems to be. So you have all these conclusions, but you have to know what it is, right? That's the way it seems to be. So you have to know what you know what you have to do in that way, right? So that's how it goes. But I hope you all like this video. Please give it a like. Please give a comment if you want. I'm so sorry that my voice seems to be very low. I'm so sorry about it, but that's how it goes. So I hope you all like this video. Please give a like, please like, comment, enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you next time when I do. Thank you very much, and have a nice day. Thank you. Bye for now. Really, thanks, and bye.